Hello everyone, welcome back to Chill Deal Trades, where I analyze stocks so you know what's going on. Today we're going to do another update video on NNDM, Nano Dimensions. I've been made a few videos over the last couple months, and just due to the pullback, I think we're in need of another update video to figure out where the price could be headed. If you haven't hit the sub button, please do, and join the squad. We're on the race to 500 subs. 500 subs, we'll start doing a Friday night or Sunday night live stream where you can come join me and we'll talk about all the stocks that you have questions about. Let's jump into things. So the first chart I want to look at is just mostly looking at RSI and MACD. So the first thing I want to call out is back at this peak when we weren't able to break out, we moved back into negative momentum. So RSI does two things. One, it tells you when something's overbought or oversold. The second thing it tells you is how momentum for the stock is looking. And so, as you can see here, I've mentioned in past videos, under 50 typically means the stock's going to head lower. Over 50 typically means bullish momentum to the upside. And as you can see, we move back below. We're not oversold in the daily, so I think that does give opportunity to more downside over the next few weeks. So that's something you want to keep an eye on. Second thing we want to keep an eye on is MACD. So MACD is actually headed back to negative territory, which is a bearish sign for the stock. There's a couple things we want to look at here. The first thing is, let me see if I can zoom in more. There we go. First thing we want to look at is the blue line has now crossed below at this peak. So that's a negative momentum. And then we've also at about zero. We're negative on one of the lines, but not quite there on the orange line. So we are headed into below zero. If we do see that break below zero in the next week or so, we do have more downside for the stock. I know it's not what everybody wants to hear, but I've made it clear for the last month. The end of July is a lot of risk for stocks, the holistic market, but we are potentially going to see more downside if we see more weakness in the NASDAQ and the SPY and the IWM, which is the Russell 2000. If we do see the correction continue out through the end of July. So those are a couple things we want to look at when we break it down to a little bit more short term. So the first I want to look at is a 4-hour. So something I always keep an eye on as stocks are moving to the downside or upside is how long they stay away from the 20-day moving average. So this is the EMA. I use the EMA because the stock is a lot more volatile, so the EMA is a better read than a simple moving average. I actually go to the 1 hour first for this. So because RSI has got down pretty low, we got to about 17 on this big candle down here, on this candle specifically right here. I think that was today. I think in the short term we could see a move back up to the 20-day. And ironically so, the 20-day is about at this big resistance point that we've created. As you can see, there's about 6-hour candles that we're not able to break out. So there is a chance that we come back and test that, which would be both a test of, and that's at 650 or 660, and that would be about a test of the 20-day and a part that we couldn't break out above. If we do see some bullish momentum over, say, the next week or the next few days, and we break a little bit higher, then the next resistance point is definitely going to be around 670. So I would say, in my opinion, we have limited upside. I think it'd be pretty difficult for this stock to break above $7 at this point, just because there is so much negative momentum presenting itself. But we could get a little bit squeezed higher back to the 20-day. So keep an eye on that around 660. We go on the 4-hour chart. Again, we're oversold in the RSI, which could lead, for the stock to rebound a little bit, just a little squeeze. MACD there's nothing pretty about MACD there, still showing a lot of negative momentum on the 4-hour. But again, the 20-day on the 4-hour chart is about $7. So as I said, at max it's around the $7 mark if we do get a little push higher. So anywhere between $6.50 and $7 for a potential move higher over the next couple days, because we are seeing some oversold readings. And not to just shout out my old videos again, but I've been telling you guys over and over is even back here the charts were not looking pretty. I made a video, I think let me go to the daily. I made a video when we had broke out here, and I mentioned it's going to be really hard to break over this point, and the 100-day was also there. I don't have it up on this chart. We failed there. I bought actually right here for a breakout above that. We failed breakout, so I sold for like a 1 or 2% loss, which is no big, and then it failed larger. So I'm not making shit up in these videos, guys, I promise. I've been doing this for about 10 years now, coming up on 10 years. And so I've been doing this and I know what I'm talking about. I'm not lying to you guys. I want you not to lose money. I don't want to hype stocks like everybody else on the internet and give you realistic price targets. The second chart I want to break into, it's a little bit more detailed, and we're going to be looking at more of moving averages as well as trend lines. So I would say the first thing I want to talk about is we've coming up on a pretty important part right here, important price, because we are testing the long-term uptrend. So if we go back to when the dollar was, or the stock was at, what is this, 60 cents, we do have this, sorry, that's the wrong trend line. When we were back at $1.30, we do see a trend line basically from here up through this point, and we're testing that right now, and we're testing it off 2 points. So this is going to be really important. If we can hold this, then maybe we have seen a bottom for the near term, but if we kind of, like I said, rally back up to that $680-ish, $667 range and move back lower and break below, that's definitely going to add even more negative momentum to the downside. So that's something to watch for, is this upward trend line. Second thing is more to the bullish case for the short term, is we have this pretty steep downward trend line. So again, I said if tomorrow, if we break out, we'll also be breaking above this trend line, which somewhere between that $6.60 and $7 range. We look at this chart, it might be a little bit higher. We could come up and test $7.30, but still about $1 upside in my personal opinion in the short term. Just to kind of strengthen that case, we have all of the moving averages. These are EMAs. The moving averages kind of close together. So we have the 200-day at that 730 range. So that's going to add even more resistance. As obviously we couldn't break out there before. So if we do break out there somehow, which is not my personal opinion based on all the facts that we've already looked over, but if we do, then maybe we do see a trend reversal. So yeah, potential upside of next week, 730 at the most, but probably not much more than that. And just kind of looking at these exponential moving averages, EMAs, we're starting to get into, even on the EMA is telling us a very bearish story for this. So I've said this in many videos, but when you have the 200-day, 100-day, and 50-day stacked in that order above the price, that's showing a lot of negative momentum for the stock. And so right now we don't have, let me situate this. We still have the 100-day above the 50-day, which says, okay, it's not all the way technically broken yet, but if we start seeing a large deceleration to the downside for this, and we see a crossover, then that's going to add even more bearishness for the stock. Now I want to cover, like, if the stock does go lower, where are some price points of support we want to look for. So the first area is obviously where we just bounced off today, which is right here. As you can see, when we zoom out, this area is really major support for the stock, and so we really need to hold that. We have trend lines to the upside, we have support lines, we have a lot of things going on that we need to hold this price. It's very important. If we don't hold that, then we'll definitely basically go directly to the low that we had back in May, and that's going to be a very important price to hold as well. Like if we go back in the past, you know, we have all this accumulation, we have these big candles, and then we bounced off it here. So if we can't hold this range that we bounced off of today, we're definitely going to go pretty drastically back to about 550. If we can't hold 550 and we see more bearishness in the overall market, it's going to be really important to be looking at the SPY, the NASDAQ, and the IWM to see how those are looking. If we continue to see negative momentum and I would say a short-term correction over the end of July, then this stock is definitely going to 550. And if it goes any lower out through the end of July, I'm going to be looking for a bounce off this trend line here. So you kind of see it's kind of going sideways this way. And so I would like to see, if it does break lower, probably somewhere around $4. I would say $4.60, $4.50 to $4 would be my bottom, and that would be a potential load zone if we start seeing the indexes start finding a bottom there, because we'll definitely get a little rally off of this as well. So those are just some prices to look for over the next few weeks into the next month. And and I hope you found something beneficial from the video. It's an update video, and I'll keep doing them on the stock because I do like them long term, even if I didn't say it in the video. But there's a lot of short term indicators that are not showing a pretty picture for the stock like a lot of the other high growth tech stocks. So again, please like, please subscribe, and comment. I really want to know what you guys think. What do you think about the stock? Where are you looking to buy in? And my last plugs, I promise, I do a live stream every Saturday and Sunday on Twitch. So me and my buddy go on there on Saturdays and we play video games, and then we have a little segment where we do like a little live podcast where you can interact with us talking about topics from the stock market the past week. And then Sundays, you can come join and do live stream charting with me. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I make a video every day, so I'll talk to you again tomorrow.